Bienvenidos a Stepping Stones, lección 67 a Making Margaritas, segunda parte. You remember we were looking at all these words that come from, or we could say they're related to, the word margarita in Espanol. Well, I met one of these people, Maggie, la enfermera, Margarita, the nurse. She told me something interesting. But first, let me tell you what I said to her. As she was taking my blood pressure, just checking my health, I said to her, ¿Es usted dominicana? Are you Dominican? Because she had an accent, a Spanish accent, and she had, I could tell, African blood in her quite a bit. And the people from La República Dominicana, they tend to have a lot of African in them. But they do not consider themselves Africans. They consider themselves Dominicans. And so I said to her, ¿Es usted dominicana? And she said no. But she said, my dad is black and my mom is Mexican. But she, Maggie, is light-skinned. So I said, do you have somebody in your family from, like, your abuelos? I said, sus abuelos son de España. Are your grandparents from Spain? But I really only asked her, is one of them from Spain? And she said yes. She said her abuela es de España. And that explains why Margarita, Maggie, is light-skinned. She looks a lot like the Dominicans, but she's not. She's a combination of African, Mexican, and part of Spain. So she has a triple combination. Light-skinned, but her sister is quite dark. So the person in there that's contributing the light-colored skin is their abuelita Española. Their Spanish abuelita. Maggie enjoyed this conversation. Sometimes people think, I shouldn't be talking about these things to students. Listen, a lot of people like to talk about where they come from. Her hermanita is quite dark. To me, she looks like somebody that's right off of the island, the República Dominicana. But neither one is Dominican. So her hermanita is quite dark, but Maggie is quite light, and yet they have the same abuelita española. And Maggie finds this very interesting. Well, there's something else about this. All right, now, her sister being darker, what would her child look like? She and her husband are both dark. Maggie's sister I'm talking about. So let's put this up here. Maggie's hermanita. She's dark, and her husband is dark. He's African American. What kind of skin will their son have? What do you think? I looked at the son, el hijo, the son. I looked at the picture that Maggie showed me, and he is light-skinned like Maggie. They're both darker than me, but they're still pretty light-skinned. This baby boy, he gets his light skin all the way going back in their family history from la abuela. Well, actually, it'd be his great-grandma, but still, abuelita. And so this just keeps on going down through the family. And actually, the family does laugh about it a little bit, and I'll explain why. The mom and the dad and Aunt Margarita, they look at this little boy, they say, what in the world? Then Maggie wanted to tell me something else. And those of you who are not familiar with adoption, I'll show you a little something. Maggie said when her hermana goes out with her baby, see, what word did I give you? Hermana, sister with her baby, her niño, her little boy. She says when my hermanita goes out with her niño, people look at them a lot and wonder, wonder if that boy's adopted or what? You have the dark parents with this very light-skinned son. And she said that one woman said to her sister, is that your son? And she said, her sister said, yes, it is. And she said, where did you get him? He's my son. And the person said, well, what agency, like adoption agency, did you go through? And she said, mi esposo, my husband. She said, so where did you get your son? These are questions that people in my family understand because so many people in my family have been adopted. And, you know, it's a wonderful thing. It's something to be very happy about. Margarita said that her sister was offended by this, and I understand that. But Margarita told her sister, get over it. You know, you can't tell everybody that, but they're sisters, so they can talk like that. When people look at skin colors, there's nothing wrong with them being curious. It's the same thing in my family. People wonder, you're related? Yeah, we are. We belong to each other. We're family. Let's sing cumpleaños to the better half. Cumpleaños feliz, te deseamos a ti, que los cumplas media naranja, que los cumplas feliz. I'm going to make some more margaritas while I tell you about a Chinese-American student from Central America, a country that I think in English we say Belize, and in Espanol we say Belice. And one day in a Spanish class, I was teaching kids that were 12 to 15 years old, and I said in Spanish, do we have any students here, anybody in this class that already speaks Espanol? And so this Chinese girl raises her hand, and I thought, she doesn't understand. She just doesn't. She's just imagining things. And so I said to her, where are you from? And she answered me in Spanish, Belice. And sure enough, she speaks Spanish, she speaks Chinese, and she speaks English. I could have said to her in English, would you give me the blue one? Well, here, let's just say I asked her for a blue daisy. I was in a store and I needed the blue daisy. I could say to her in English, would you give me the blue one? And she'd know what I meant. And if I said it in Spanish, favor de darme el azul, she would know what it meant. And if I said it, she would know exactly what I was saying. She speaks 3 languages. Don't be afraid of learning another one. You can do it. It just takes time.